Hello, fellow targeted individuals. There have been many people which have talked about being targeted, and the FBI would just slam phones on them. They will investigate your matter when you're dead, in some cases, kind of like this one lady. And there are TIs which have fled to China, Russia, and different countries. Because agencies here, they don't help. Everything here is a matter of national security, even the truth. Gang stalking is a psychological operation. It was historically done by the FBI, CIA, and other interagency partners secretly. And what they would do was they would turn to your local police departments, your police chiefs, your sheriffs, people that have received training through the FBI Training Academy, and municipalities. And this would be conducted secretly. Not everybody supported it on a local level, but many people which were open to receiving money went along with it. The FBI would knock on the doors of neighbors, kind of like how DHS has done towards some targets in some communities, and they've told neighborhood watch groups through a Citizens Corps program that this person is this person is that, and people believe the slander. So the target is unable to enjoy their environment. Store clerks sometimes are flagged about you, schools, hospitals, libraries, your public works and parks and recreation. So when you take a walk, the perpetrators may flag you as a threat where you walk in your neighborhood, and you may be harassed every single time you take a bike ride. They track your phone, and they have partners in the community. Some of these perps, they have earpieces that you can't even see. They're very small, and they're using Bluetooth, and they may just arrive at a location and not know exactly who they're targeting, but be told once they enter the specific place to walk a certain direction and do a certain act. Sometimes the perps know exactly who they're targeting, and these people are typically going to be like ex-Army, ex-US Air Force, ex-Navy, ex-Marines that are seeking defense contracts. You're perhaps wondering how come in every single US state, when you've gone to cops, they say, oh, your matter's civil. Well, if I was to harass a cop's family, would that be a civil matter or a criminal matter? See, I've been living in Clermont, Florida for 7.5 years, and I had another channel in Texas where I talked about this same exact crap in Austin, Texas. And the Citizens Corps programs would harass me in stores, and the local sheriff's department would park, not in the parking lot, literally 4 feet from the door, watching me while I was in line, hoping they could entrap me by utilizing a private party. See, as long as a private citizen is used, your case is not considered entrapment. So if they're using defense contractors, it's not considered entrapment. So they utilize loopholes. They deprive you of life, liberty, and justice by utilizing non-disclosure agreements, national security laws, and not even Congress will help. You know why? Congress is not bound to the Constitution. They're bound to national security laws. Just like police are bound to state and federal laws, which prohibit them in every U.S. state from exposing a veteran if they're potentially doing sensitive work. They say they're a confidential informant. When I used to get harassed every single day out here while walking with my family by a veteran and a homeowner or a veteran-owned business, I knew that it was a waste of time to go to cops. I would have to go to them every single freaking day for 7.5 years. So what they do is they outsource to large pools of people. And sometimes you may notice the same people being utilized weeks later. 1 month it could be 89 people. Some of them may have a shirt that says Lockheed Martin, and they may be utilized when they're not working. They could be tied to a neighborhood watch group. They may go to a VFW, an American Legion. There are cops, many cops, which are members. Police chiefs are commonly seen in photos with American Legion members. So when they get a contract from a major corporation that's on the stock market, listed as a defense contractor for the CIA, FBI, DOD, etc., do you think that the cops are going to say anything? Of course not. So for that reason, you're being singled out in a community. See, the same thing that occurred during the 1960s occurs today. The same groups which were known for mobbing and gang stalking are now consolidated into some fusion centers, which are complicit, but they remain silent and have very little oversight at times into what's really going on. And sometimes they do know what's going on and participate in some communities. So gang stalking, or these psychological operations, come with predictable events and results. And groups that have done this and that are doing this in America right now are your CIA, our national security apparatus. Tulsi Gabbard recently stated she's experiencing censorship. Well, what in the heck are active duty military and ex-military social media contractors doing, entering in groups for people that are filled with minorities, that are oppressed, asking the government for help, but then being harassed in a group as if they're lying? If you're having experiences upon arrival to gas stations, upon arrival to stores, beaches, wherever, that activity defies the probability of an event. They track your phones. If you turn your phone off, they gather your contacts prior through Stingray technology. They study your patterns, where you like to eat, where you like to go to. They target that, and they outsource to people in some cases which believe a lie. They say you're a terrorist, a pedophile, serial killer, all types of horrible things. Bike thief, when you own your bike and have a receipt for it.
Hey everybody, so since this morning I've gotten some questions from people who are not familiar with the term shadow banning and are asking exactly what it is. So I want to take a minute to show you. For example, when people try to type my name into the search box on Instagram or the discover box, my account does not show up. Whether you type in Tulsi Gabbard, it literally does not show up. I'm also getting a lot of reports from people who are trying to at my name, at Tulsi Gabbard, and mention me in their Instagram stories or posts, and they're getting a warning that says this account has posted false information. Obviously, they're not providing us or whoever's trying to post this examples of what this misinformation is or what exactly they're talking about. People try to tag me in an Instagram post and they get an error saying, we are restricting certain activity to protect our community. What are they protecting their community from? Nobody knows. Another thing is just with my posts, I would say that with the numbers of views and the numbers of likes, they're down. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea of what shadow banning is and what the effects are. You know, I was talking to somebody yesterday saying, hey, how come they're allowed to do this? I know very well that these big tech companies have a lot of Congress in their back pocket. And so while you'll hear Democrats and Republicans railing against, suppression, maybe, I don't know actually what the split is between Democrats and Republicans, but you'll hear politicians railing against, the power of big tech monopolies and something's got to be done. Well, Congress hasn't done anything yet. And big tech money is the reason why. So as long as we have these cowardly leaders in place, I don't anticipate any real change. So if you are not already, I encourage you to join me at tulsi.locals.com. You'll get to see everything I'm posting directly. No chance of censorship. This platform celebrates free speech and democracy, and I encourage you to join me there or join me on other platforms whose mission it is to uphold free speech, uphold our First Amendment rights, and protect our democracy.
So people who have demons, including unhealed Christians, love to provoke you past the point where you can no longer take it. And then when you get angry back at them and lose your control, they then point their finger at you, blaming you for losing it because they love the power of feeling that they can control you, to make you get angry, raise your voice, yell at them. They call it reactive abuse. So sometimes it feels like Satan himself is speaking through these people because they know exactly what to say to hurt you to your core. It takes a spiritually strong person to simply not respond and walk away when someone provokes you. The key is not to stay in the same room forever when the person begins to provoke you, or to hang up on them, because their demons are very cunning and adept at knowing exactly what to say to you to hurt you and get you angry and cause you to want to explode on them, and then you come out looking like the bad guy or girl. So it's very hard to forgive people who provoke you, while this allows demons to then torment you. So what does the Bible say to do when someone tries to provoke you into an argument or dispute? 2 Timothy chapter 2 verses 23 through 26 says, "But avoid foolish and ignorant disputes, knowing that they generate strife. And a servant of the Lord must not quarrel, but be gentle to all, able to teach, patient, in humility correcting those who are in opposition, if God perhaps will grant them repentance, so that they may know the truth, and that they may come to their senses, and escape the snare of the devil, having been taken captive by him to do his will." So self-control is a fruit of the Spirit, but it's hard to walk in unless you are healed from your soul wounds, have forgiven everyone from your heart, repented for sin and pride, commanded demons to be gone. When you are healed and delivered, you'll be able to simply ignore those who try to provoke you and walk away, hang up the phone, block them, then keep your peace on. Demonic people hate it when they can't get a reaction out of you. They can't control you. So just ignore and block them. Have nothing to do with them. Give them over to God and let Him deal directly with them. So you need to make sure, don't lose your peace over someone who has tried to provoke you over and over again. Have nothing to do with them. Give them to the Lord. All right, I have a book called Freedom from Soul Wounds and Demons. It's been helping thousands of people around the world to get healed from their hurts and wounds, get delivered from their demonic spirit so they can walk in the fruit of the Spirit. Which one of those fruits is peace.